Hello and how are you? My name is Mahindo Mbark and I welcome you to our 14th video of learning how to make web applications, most especially dashboards, using Laravel and Laravel admin. In the previous class, we stopped at user role management and how to assign different permissions. So in today's class, we say that we're going to see how we can now put everything that we've been learning together in order to do a project that makes sense. And we say that we're going to accomplish our hotel management system and see how we can wrap it out, we can wrap it up all so it can be like a self contained project that can do anything that we may need to do with the basic processes of hotel management system. So with that much said, we're going to go straight into our today's business and determine what we're going to do today. So as you can see, I have already started the project. So I've already served it using PHP Artisan Serve, and now it is now live on on the IP, which is 127.0.0.1, and then at the port of 8000. So that is the project. So Laravel admin is stroke admin. That's where I can find Laravel admin, and this is the login page or the landing page of Laravel admin. So to log in, you can simply come here and put admin, and then you log in with with admin. That is how you can log in into the project. So right now we're going to log out, and then we see we start the process. Now we're going to take it like when someone comes and they want to register as customers, what should we do to show them the interface where they can register as customer, and then maybe they log in as customers and also log out. And then after, they should be able to browse the rooms that we have available and make orders of the room, and also approve the rooms. Approve them, and then we should be able to know the rooms that are still available and the rooms that are occupied. So that's literally what we're going to do right now. So the first thing, as you know, is the self-registration of a customer. How can someone register themselves on this kind of a project of Laravel admin? So if I come here and log out, you'll see when I log out, it will take me to admin stroke authentication stroke stroke login. So our authentication of registration, we're going to put it to stroke registration or stroke register. So let us see how we can do that. Okay, let us see how we can do that on stroke register. So to do that, it means that we're going to create our own route, which is going to be stroke register. So you know that this route does not exist. So let us go ahead and create it first in the normal routes. So to do that, we'll just simply come to our routes, our web routes. They're here. And then by the way, another thing is that we can as well remove the word admin if you want. If you don't want it there, you can as well remove this admin word or admin suffix if you don't want it. So if you want to remove this admin suffix to your project, so that if someone lands in on your project, you should be able to see the Laravel admin project. To do that, you just simply come to configuration and remove it under config, under admin.php, and then you'll see where there is the suffix, not suffix, prefix here. Okay, so if you remove this guy and leave it empty, then your Laravel admin project should be on top, right? Yeah. You remove it and also come to the web route, and I think this is the one that is overriding it, and remove that web route. Then your project should be on top. So it means that when someone comes to your project, they will directly access Laravel admin. That is how you remove it. Otherwise, if you have a route here, it will override this one. So let us go ahead and I don't know, I think we should remove it for now. If you want, you can get rid of it, that admin prefix. But I don't know, let us maintain it just for administration, and then if we want to, okay, let's remove it for now. Let's remove it for now. So if someone comes into our project and we don't specify, you come here straight to the project like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the registration logic. So to put the registration logic, it means that we're going to create an endpoint or a route of what? Of register. Okay, so I'm going to create a get for register. So I can simply say maybe it should be under authentication, then register. Since Laravel admin also did the same. So we can just simply come here and duplicate this route, and then we put it should under authentication under register like this. Okay, so that is the registration UI. So if I come here and put under authentication under register, I should be able to see this. You know, I've just returned this default what? This default user interface. So let's go ahead and create the blade for registration. To do that, we just simply go and under the views, resources, under views, and then you can create a new folder, maybe for authentication only, and then you put a blade that will use for registering. Okay, so you can simply come here and put new file and call it register.blade.php. So that's where we're going to put our registration logic here. So if we come here, instead of returning welcome, you can simply return auth and then dot register the blade register. Okay, so if I come here and refresh, I should be able to do what? To see this registration blade. So I'm going to first be straight to the point. We'll concentrate on the user interfaces later. You're going to create a login, a registration interface. So let's go ahead and do that. So come here and simply put our HTML5, and then we can get bootstrap link, So you can get the Bootstrap CDN, you can get it from anywhere. For example, this one. Just search for Bootstrap 4 CDN. You can find it anywhere, it is everywhere. So let me go ahead and get this one. So I'll just simply copy that and then I paste it here. So I can now be able, I should be able now to use Bootstrap. So let me go ahead and create a div. Okay, let me go ahead and give this class this body a container class. Let me just create a div. And then inside this container, I can go ahead and put my div and give maybe a class of what? Of row. So we should be having something like this for login. So let's go ahead and now put the login UI. So go ahead and create a form of post and action may submit itself there, and then you go ahead and give the first input, maybe the name, username and password. So go ahead and put so have that one for the first name, the name, and then we put another for the email, and then you put another one for the what? For the password. And then you can put password confirmation there. And then you put the submit button. Okay, there you go. So if I come and refresh, you should have a simple registration form like that. All right, so maybe you can put here okay, so there we go. Now let's go ahead and fill this form. So you make sure that it's a post and then you can submit to itself. So it is submitting to itself. It means that you have to come here to our web routes and receive it. Okay, so to receive it, we'll have to put here post and maybe we can die here. Like this. So only that you have not put the SR as a secret. The secret is going to expire. I hope if you do like this and submit, it's going to post method not supported. All right. Okay. So how do you call it? It's called secret is called CSRF. So I have to put this one in the form. Sorry there, yeah. Okay, so we have to put this one on the form. Okay, so now another thing, you have to exclude this endpoint, not Laravel admin to consider it, or Laravel admin to ignore it. So to do that, you come into configuration of Laravel admin, which you can find under app and configuration and admin.php. So you come to except, search for except. So this except, it means that Laravel admin should not look at those endpoints. So let us also ignore the what? The endpoint of register. Okay, so you have to do that in order that Laravel admin to ignore it. Because the endpoint of register are going to make use of it by yourself. So if you don't want Laravel admin to look at it, you have to add it there. Okay, under configuration, then here. So if you come to register, here we go. So let me go ahead and try to refresh. Post method not supported. Okay, let us go ahead and specify the endpoint. In the action, so come to our form, and then let us first display here what we want to put as action. So can just simply say URL, and then let us try to display that one there. So this is where I want to take the user here. So let's go ahead and put it there into the action. So come here to action and then put that one, URL authentication, then register. So then we'll come here to authentication, refresh. Then let us go ahead and try to fill in the information and then submit. You'll see we are able to access this information at this point. So what we're going to do here is to collect the login, the registration information that this person has submitted, and then try to register this person in the database. So let me come again. So this is the registration form. Now here we're going to collect the name, the email, and the password, and the two passwords. So let's go ahead and autofill that. So this is the information that this person is submitting. So it's going to submit this information and will receive it at this point. at this point, it is where we're going to receive it from, at the post. Okay, so here is where we're going to collect the first name, the last name, and the. So you can as well collect this information by putting here a request of HTTP like this. And then, for example, if you want to collect the name, the first name, you can just simply collect it like this by using the information that you use. I mean the names that you used in your in your blade. So if I come here and put the name, I can go ahead and collect the name from here. So let's go ahead and see how we can access that. So if I press submit, you'll see I'm able to receive the name. So all right, so let's go ahead and collect the name, the email, and the password. So of course the name, we can collect it from here like this, and then the email, you can collect it from there like this. So make sure that you're using the same name that you used in the blade, and also the password. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to see if this email does not exist on on our database. Okay, or we can first check if the email we're going to check if the email does not exist on our database. So if I want to display the email first, I can first put it there. So this is the email that has been submitted. So let's go ahead and check it if it does not exist in the database. So to do that, we can use the administrator model, or we can use the user model. So you remember we have our user model here. Okay, so we make sure that this user model is fetching from the table, from the same table. Also, Laravel admin gives us the administrator model, the one that you can use for managing the data, the users who are registered. So I can just first check if this user is already existing in our database by saying user equals to administrator. So you use this administrator that comes with Laravel admin, and then we say find, we say where, and then we say email equals to the email that has been submitted, and then we get the first user. So we go ahead and check if this first user is not null, then we can go ahead and say die user already exists. User with same email already exists. So that is how we can see if this user is already registered using that email or not. So else we can go ahead and start registering this user. So let's first check if that one works. Of course, what are they saying? They're saying the email was not found. Let us go ahead and so we'll go to localhost /phpMyAdmin, and then come to our database, to our project database. Which is this one, Hotel Pro, and then come to admin users. You can see you don't have the place of email, but you have the username. Okay, so let's use the username instead. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So instead of checking using email, let's check using username. Okay, so now it should be good. If I come and refresh, everything should be all right. Now you see we're able to access now the user. Okay, we're able to do this. Let us go ahead and register this user. So to register this user, we can first come to our database and see the information that we'll need to collect from this user. So I'll copy all the columns and then come here and comment, and then first put these columns here. So we need the ID to automatically generate itself. So we need the username and the password and the name. This avatar is also optional. Then also the remember token is optional. Created art is optional. updated artists, all those will be registered. Okay, so these are the things that we do what that we need. So let us go ahead and now register this user. So to register this user will be u equals to new user, new administrator, and then you say u, and then you collect the name. The name, of course, equals to this name that we have collected here, and then we collect the username, which is the email, and then you collect the what, the password, which is password hash, and then you pass this password hash, and then we pass the password and then the default password. So after doing those two, we're going to go ahead and save this user. Okay, so we'll save this user by doing save. Okay, so after saving this user, we now need to log in this user. Okay, so to log in this user, we'll just simply do authentication attempt, which is auth. I think let me see how Laravel admin did it. So come here to authentication controller of Laravel admin. Laravel admin has its own authentication controller. I want to see how it logged in the user, so you can also use the same the same logic. I think you can find it under vendor. Core, thinking SRC controllers. I think it's this one. Let's see. This is how they logged in their user. Okay, we will direct the user to the login page, then we'll handle this login page later. Okay, so let's hear. So here after doing that, after registering the user, we're going to direct this user to now to the what, to the login page. So let's go ahead and do that. So after successful saving, we are going to direct this user direct to the what, the login page. So just simply say return redirect to the authentication login. So the user will have created the account. So let's go ahead and do that. I will come and refresh here. Now we see the user has been redirected to the what, to the registration login, to the authentication login. So let me go ahead and repeat again for the registration logic, register, and then I'll come here. So if you come here database, you'll be able to see that another user has been created, this one here. So let me go ahead and try to register myself. So I can go ahead and say Mohindo Mubarak, and then my email can be mubs0x@gmail.com. Then my password can be admin, and then admin as the password. Then I register. So you see, I've successfully been registered. So I have to log in by putting my username and password 4321 and then log in. So admin, that is my password, and then login. So you see, I'm able to do what? To log in. So here I'm logged in as a user or as a customer. But the point is, I don't have any permission, so I'm not able to see anything. Okay? So I want to be able to see if someone doesn't have a permission, Let us give them a what? A customer permission. So we can do this either by registration. On registration, when someone finishes registering, we go ahead and give them what? And they give them a what? A registration, I mean a customer permission. Or we can check this one at first and see if someone does not have any permission. We go ahead and do what? And give them permissions by default if they don't have any permission. So there is a file called bootstrap file, and that bootstrap file is the file that is executed before anything is done. So when that in that bootstrap file, we want to be checking if someone is registered or not. If someone is not registered, I mean if someone has a permission or not. If someone doesn't have permission in that bootstrap file, we'll go ahead and give them what? A customer permission. So let us go ahead and do that. So this person is just a new person, does not have any permission. Let us go ahead and give them what? A customer permission. So there is a file called bootstrap.php. It is under Laravel admin and then bootstrap.php. This file, it is where all the logic works from before anything is executed. So let's go ahead and get the user who is logged in. Okay, u equals to admin and then user. So let's go ahead and see if this user is not null. If is not what? Is not null. So if the user is not null, we are going to check if this user has any role. You still remember yesterday how you can get someone's roles, okay? So dd, and then we put here roles. So you see, this person does not have any role. This to array is just an optional thing. Okay, so you can just simply put just roles like this. So you can see this user does not have a role, okay? So you can check by saying if empty or if count of roles is less than 1, then you can die here has no role like this, okay? So this user has no role. So want to be able to create for this user an administrator role, I mean to give him a customer role. So if you come to a database yesterday, we created here a role. So here this is where you find all the roles. We created a role and gave it an ID of 2 with the what? With the slug of customer. Okay, so this is where the roles be. Okay, so we're going to create a role. We're going to give this user a role, and this is a table. This one, admin role users, it is a table where you do what? Where you keep the roles of what? Of the user. So we're going to give the user who is logged in, we're going to give them a role to their user ID. So this table takes a role ID and the what? And the user ID. So we're going to get the user ID and the role ID that we want to give this user, and then create a record that we can save in this database. So since we don't have a model, we can use the insert. So first of all, let's get the role that we need to give this user. So the role ID, of course, is going to be role number 2. I mean the role with ID 2. So I can come here and say maybe role ID equals to 2, and then user ID, we can get it from what? From the UID, like this. So those are the two things that we need to assign the role to this guy. So let's go ahead and do and assign a role by using db insert db Okay, so db insert, so insert into admin role users, this one here, and then you're going to insert the role ID and then the user ID. So the values, you can put a question mark like this, and then we pass the values in this kind of an array. It is db insert, then you say insert into admin users, then you open things that you need to insert, the role ID and the user ID, then you put in them in a bracket, then after you say values, and then you put two question marks, first question mark and then the second one. So meaning that the first value will be substituted here and another one here, and then open bracket, and then you pass them in what? In an array in their respective order, which is the role ID and then the user ID, like this. Then like that to be able to insert into the database, and like that you'll be able to do what? To assign the role. You can make it as a function, something like that. So I save. So a user now should have at least one role. Okay, so if I come and refresh, you see the role has been created. And if you come here to the database, here under admin role users, you see we have admin with an ID 4 and has role number 2, and that's why you see this person can now log in or can come here without having a limitation of unauthorized access. So you see everything is now all right. So you first check if it's not there, you give them a role. You can put this one here, you can put it on the hook, like when a user is created, you automatically create them for them a role, something like that. So there we are. So the customer can be able to access the dashboard. I hope it's not repeating itself. It has to be done only one time. Yes, just doing it only one time. So the customer can access the dashboard, and then the customer can access the rooms. So now we need a customer to make a what? To make a reservation. Okay, to make a reservation. Okay, so that's what we're going to do right now. So let us first organize this table of rooms, so the customer should be able to see the rooms that are available and the ones that are not available. And also we need to also make another module of room reservation, where a customer can place an order, and then the person, the front desk, should be able to receive this order and then take it from there. And also we should make a landing page where customer can browse the available rooms from the public side and come directly and make the order to the hotel. So that's what we'll do in the next class. Today we have just focused on registration. So in the next class we'll go ahead and now do the logic of the order reservation, and also maybe the front desk being able to receive this order and reserve a room. So that's it for today. In the next class, that's where we'll begin from. So make sure that you practice, make sure that you understand, and make sure that you're not left behind. So after we have finished this, we'll go ahead and perfect everything and finish the remaining things, such as after registration it should automatically be logged in. All those will cover them. Right now we'll have to concentrate on only on the core things. So one more last thing, if you want like the default page, if someone comes to the website, we should be taken maybe to the registration page automatically. If you want to do that, you can as well come here to register. Come to administration config, and then you come to the redirect here, redirect to. So if someone who is not logged in, they'll be automatically redirect to where you want. So you see, if I come here and I'm not logged in, I'll be redirected to the to the registration screen. All right, that makes it for today. Let's meet in the next class and take it from there. And hope you'll not miss. and goodbye.